Welcome back to another part of our own curriculum and the personal support worker. We just have work today and a new part of our work. That would be about also the personal support worker. And like I said before, there are 10 advantages of home work or working as home care for seniors. First of all, personal attention, peace your mind, freedom, easier daily life, quality of life, cost cutting, flexibility because you can change your schedule as a PSW like the way you want. You want to work in the afternoon shifts, you want to make a morning shifts and so on. Comfortable, longevity and mental health and personal attention. These are the things which we can do it. With the increase of the home end and community-based program, there is ever-growing demand for the support workers, of course. Now the support workers are finding jobs very easy, and it's very available for them to work in agencies or to work in hospitals or whatever. The second thing now is the community-based services include the healthcare. This is about the community-based services like the healthcare, like the schools, boards, community health centers, doctors' offices, home care agencies, day program, and live-in facilities. So this is the community-based services. Now I will put here questions. We will go for questions right now. New slide. And my first question today is like this. We will say, what are the advantage that PSW will have when he works at patients' homes? When you go to the patient's homes, so what he will get? What are the advantages which will get when he work at the patient's homes? This is our first question today. What the advantages that he will get when he work for the patient's home? Also, we said there is growing industry for the PSW. It's a growing or booming industry now. So I would say now PSW is booming industry. Discuss. So you will discuss to me, you will tell me why it is booming industry, why it is very important to work as a PSW, and what is the advantage you will get from working as a PSW. Here, like we see here right now, those are the two questions which I want you to answer from this part. The first question, what are the advantages that PSW will have when he works at patients' homes? The second question, PSW is a booming industry, so discuss to me why it is a booming industry. We move forward right now into another part. Now, what is happening today on the ground here in the Canadian health care system? What's happening is that the hospitals are decreasing while the community-based services is increasing. So the community-based services, we said before, what is the community-based services? That you work from home or the agencies or whatever. Here it is, the community-based services, which the Canadian government is trying to decrease the number of the hospitals or shrink the number of the hospitals and increasing the community-based services like school boards, community health centers, doctors' offices, home care agencies, day programs, and live-in facilities. So this is what the Canadian government is trying to do right now. You may work directly to a client or the client's family as well. So sometimes you will work for a client or a client family. Such clients select and supervise their own support workers. They select the support worker. Clients may pay support workers from their own resources. So also, it's okay. If you pay from your own resources, that's fine. Or their province may provide funding assistance to them. Or I might find that, as example, AIDS or fundraising the PSW. So I can, if I'm sick now and I have a PSW who's helping me, he can get his money from two ways. The first way is direct from me as a client. The second way is from the government, the assistance from the government of Canada. Facility-based services include the healthcare and support services provided within facilities such as hospitals and long-term care. So facilities-based services include healthcare and support services, like the facilities such as the hospitals and long-term care facilities. Okay. If there is advantages for working directly for the client, yes, we have advantages for working directly for the client. So what are these advantages? What are these advantages to work directly for the client? So the first advantage of these advantages, actually, let's go back to it and just shrink it. Make it smaller back because it won't be able here. It's not visible like this way. Let's go. Increase it. So it's like this way now. Firstly, clarifying the terms of employment. Some clients who employ a support worker may want to have a contract signed. Like this, always read the contract carefully. So this is the first thing, establishing work limits. Before you begin working for the client, find out exactly what's expected from you and what you have to do and what are the maximum hours you are working. This information to be in written. Knowing scope of practice limits and your rule and responsibilities. You have to know what you have to do and what you ought not to do. Dealing with people in distress also, this is another point, dealing with people in distress. You don't know that the people here, support workers must support clients and their families who show signs of intense emotionally and physically distress. So you have to be aware of all this as well. You need to remain calm and professional, no matter how clients express themselves. Also, be sensitive to their feelings and try to imagine how they are feeling. Like as an example, one of our nurses was telling me, she won for the first time and the client was telling her, I'm scared of you, you're scaring me, you're frightening me, and this and that. And even though she didn't get upset or so, be very professional when you work with a client. When you work with a client, be very professional. Need to carry liability insurance also. So the liability insurance, when you are self-employed, you are legally responsible for an injury, any injury at the workplace, mishappened, that might occur while you are providing care. In addition, with our health insurance, you would not be compensated for lost wages if you were to become ill and miss time for work. There is also advantages for working in facilities. Like working in facilities has its own advantages as well. So what are the advantages of working for facilities like we see here? What are the advantages for working for facilities? What are the disadvantages? The advantages of working for facilities include working in a structured team environment. You are working with supervisors, you have your RPN, registered nurse or registered practitioner nurse, and you are working with them. And this is structured team environment. You have your supervisors, you have physicians, you have nurses, and all these. You have clients, you're also reporting to them about the client every day. Meeting multiple needs and demands. So support workers are required to respond to the many needs and demands of the client. The client is having many needs, like physical needs, mental needs, and so on. It may not be even emotional needs as well. You want to feel the passion and you want to feel, or she want to feel the passion, or Yeah, the feelings. So this is also a point. It may not be possible to respond immediately to all the demands. Yes, as a human nature, you cannot do all at once. But as support worker, you should be able to prioritize clients' needs. So put for them their needs in prior system, like prioritized system means that what comes first, what I have to do for them first here. They have 5 needs or 6 needs. Just put them, order them based into their significance or based into their importance. So put the first one in the first place, which is very important. Then go to the second, then the third, then the fourth, and so on. Be flexible, diplomatic, and consistent as well. Effective organization. So these are the points which, so you deal with multiple needs and demands, dealing with people in distress as well. You are living and dealing when you are working as a PSW with the clients who are feeling distress. Clients, administrators, facilities, and clients' families may show signs of intense emotional or physical distress. That's happening and always happens. So it's important for you to remain calm and professional all time. So this is also another point. Doing many tasks within a short period. So you do a lot of things in a small time or a small short time period. Support workers must provide thorough, competent, and respectful care within a short time. Respecting your role and scope of practices also. You have to the code of conduct and your own never attempt any procedures that you have not been taught to perform. So if don't do things you don't know how to do it, don't do things you don't know how to do it. Just be very careful here about doing things that you learn, not what you don't know. What you don't know, you have to ask. So also, this is also very important points. That was about the points which we talk about regarding the what we have to talk about here. Advantages of working directly for client. Then I will put questions right now for this part. New slides, and I will say what are the, then here it is Control and V, the advantages. What are the advantages of working directly with clients? This is the first point. What are the advantages of working directly with clients? Here we go. Then the second point is here. Second point we will talk about right now is let me go down just one little bit here. The advantages of working in facilities like hospitals or whatever. So what are the advantages of working in facilities as well? This is also the second question we will ask today here. This is the second question. And I will say question 2, what are the advantages of working in facilities? What are the advantages of working in facilities? What are the advantages of working in facilities? This is the second point we have here. What are the advantages of working in facilities? So I have 2 points. What are the advantages of working directly for the clients? And also the advantages of working for facilities. Shall wait here for a few minutes before we go to the next part. Shall wait here for a few minutes before we start going to the next part to get your answers. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for your answers for these 2 questions. Thank you. So again, my dears, we are talking about two questions we had today. What are the advantages of working directly for the clients? And this question, actually, we had the answer here. Advantage of working directly for the client, including clarifying the term of employment, establishing work limits, knowing scope of practices for the PSW, dealing with people in distress, and needing to carry liability insurance. These are the points which we talk about in the question of what are the advantages of working directly for clients. And the second question was, what are the advantages of working in facilities? Facilities, like we said, the facilities like hospitals, nursing homes, retirement residences, these we call it facilities. So what are the advantages of working in facilities? Working in facilities advantages, they are like the working in a structured team environment, meeting multiple needs and demands, dealing with people in distress, doing many tasks within a short period of time, like in the morning, as example, before you take the patients into the dining room. Before 8 o'clock, you are just there to dress them, to give them the breakfast, help them, to remind them with their medicine, and call the nurse for the medicines. And it's only you will share in the administration of the medicine, but not to provide the medicines into the, this is the responsibility of the nurse. The prescription is the responsibility of the nurse. And you will also be responsible about dressing them, grooming them, and all these facilities, and putting them from the Hoyer into the wheelchair. If you have cases like this and they need to take their breakfast in the lunch room or the dining room, then you have to, all these steps be done together. Then you have to take them, to put them on the dining room for the breakfast before 8 a.m. in the morning. So you have to do all these works together. Also, respecting your rule and scope of practices is one of the points. So we said today, respecting your rule and scope of practice. So these are the two questions, advantages of working directly for clients. That's if you will work directly for a client. So you have to read the contract which you're writing. Clarify this contract in terms of written contracts, establishing work limits. So what is your boundaries? What's your duties? What's your responsibilities? All this must be there. Knowing the scope of practices, limits of your own. Dealing with people in distress, just make sure that you are not dealing with normal people, because people, when they are sick, mental things happen always with the sickness, especially like the cancers and this. So or the stroke or the dementia, their brains are not working effectively 100%. So expect in these cases that you will have people with distress. And even their families also will be in distress, because their families and their beloved will be very tensioned because of them. So be very professional when you deal with them. Needing to carry liability insurance for yourself as well. This is the things which you do when you work, like we said, when you work for clients, directly for clients, working directly for clients. But if you are working for yourself, if you are working in facilities, so there is advantages for this. Of course, the pros of this is that in the structured team environment, you are working a team, you have nurses, physicians, practitioner nurses, registered practitioner nurses, all these you are working with them, meeting multiple needs and demands in the same time, dealing with people in distress, like we said before, so pay attention to this, doing many tasks within a short period, and respecting your rule and scope of practice and acting like a professionalism. This was the points which we talk about in this video today. We talk about 2 points. What are the advantages of working directly for client? What are the advantages of working directly for clients? And the second question was, what are the advantages of working in facilities? What are the advantages of working for facilities? I came to a last point here, and I will move into the next part. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next part.